The traumatic encounter begins with Sir Jimmy and the fingers forcefully dragging the family into the barn as night settles in, dragging them across the dirt floor and tying them up without hesitation. The air is thick with smoke, sweat, and fear. From the moment they are restrained, it's clear that escape is no longer an option. Sir Jimmy steps forward slowly, surveying the family as if they are offerings laid out before him. His voice is calm, controlled, and disturbingly confident as he begins to speak. He starts preaching about God, claiming that the world has been abandoned and left to rot, and that he alone was chosen to fix it. According to him, people who wander without purpose are lost souls, and it is his sacred responsibility to find them, break them, and deliver them to his Father. He insists that pain is not cruelty, but purification, and that death is merely a passage to something greater. As he speaks, the fingers move into position, preparing the ritual like it's something they've done countless times before. The family watches in horror as the cult members begin cutting into the captives, treating the violence like a holy ceremony. Sir Jimmy doesn't intervene or rush them. He watches closely, observing every movement with approval, as if ensuring the ritual is done correctly. Spike stands nearby, trying to stay still, trying not to react, but the reality of what's happening finally overwhelms him. This isn't survival anymore, and as the ritual continues, Spike turns away and stumbles out of the barn, barely making it outside before vomiting. He bends over, shaking, the weight of everything crashing down on him all at once. Scheidt's death, the initiation, the cult, and now this. Outside, Jimmy Inc. notices Spike's condition and approaches him quietly. She doesn't mock him or threaten him. Instead, she offers subtle reassurance, speaking softly, reminding him to breathe. Back inside the barn, Sir Jimmy shifts his attention to Tom. His tone changes, becoming almost playful as he offers him a deal. Tom can walk free, but only if he's willing to fight one of the fingers to the death. Sir Jimmy presents it as a test of faith and strength, a chance to prove himself worthy of survival. Tom has no choice but to agree. Sir Jimmy allows Tom to choose his opponent. Desperate and terrified, Tom chooses Jemima, assuming she'll be the weakest option. The fingers untie Tom, and the fight begins immediately. At first, Tom tries to defend himself, but it quickly becomes clear he made a terrible mistake. Jemima overwhelms him with ease, striking him repeatedly and driving him to the ground. She toys with him, savoring her control, before moving in for the kill. Just as Jemima raises her weapon, Kathy acts. She manages to grab a metal hook and hurls it across the barn, striking Jemima and stopping the attack. The moment shatters Sir Jimmy's calm. He immediately shouts orders, screaming for the fingers to seize Kathy and punish her for interfering. The barn erupts into chaos. In the confusion, Tom scrambles to his feet and grabs a nearby propane tank. Acting on pure instinct, he ignites it, turning it into a makeshift weapon. The tank explodes into flames, engulfing one of the fingers and setting parts of the barn ablaze. Fire spreads rapidly along the wooden beams, smoke filling the space as people scream and panic. Tom tries to escape, but an arrow strikes him directly in the chest. He collapses to the ground, motionless, as the fire continues to spread around him. The barn becomes a death trap, trapping several people inside while the remaining fingers manage to flee into the night. Amid the chaos, Kathy breaks free and runs, disappearing into the darkness beyond the burning barn. Sir Jimmy watches the fire without emotion. To him, this is simply another sacrifice. Once the situation settles, Sir Jimmy turns his attention back to Spike. His voice is calm again, almost casual, as if nothing out of the ordinary just happened. He looks directly at Spike and asks a single question, expecting obedience and honesty. He asks Spike where Kathy is. Spike hesitates for a moment when Sir Jimmy asks about Kathy, but after a brief pause, Spike finally answers, telling Sir Jimmy that Kathy is dead. Sir Jimmy studies Spike closely, his expression unreadable. He doesn't react with anger or grief. Instead, he calmly asks for proof. He wants the body. However, Inc. steps in to rescue Spike from this tension. To get the full 28 years later, the Bone Temple recap, check out our page. Thanks for watching and goodbye.